Welcome back to another episode of Explorers of Darkness. Last time, we went through Crevice Cave and saved the ancient explorer Scizor. This time, we are going to make a huge fucking mistake by going into a dungeon that is probably well beyond our pedigree. I'm gonna do some missions here in... what the hell is it called? Midnight Forest. And I am scared. There are some really, really scary enemies that appear in here. And I feel like we're gonna get our asses kicked. Although the thing is, most of the spawn list of this dungeon, as you can see, is literally just copy-pasted from Mystifying Forest. Hell, this isn't even the only dungeon that's like this. There's another dungeon, one of the 7 treasures dungeons, where the spawn list is just almost exclusively Pokemon that are already in Mystifying Forest. I don't really get it, but hey, fuck it. Oh yeah, and there's one of those scary enemies right now. I believe Ledian is actually unique to this one. I don't think he's in the other 2 dungeons, but... Ledian, well, 2 words, Silverwind. We do not want to see Ledian start doing any of that shit, or we are going to die. Slow trap. I'd like to get that orb, but everybody's gonna end up walking on this slow trap now. Get over here, pussy. Oh, agility, that's not good. Okay, we're fine. Reminder that agility affects every team member in the room in this game, by the way, so if we get into a monster house against a Beedrill or something and they start using agility, it's literally just over. Hey, Beedrill wants to join the team, though. Sure. Never gonna use you, but... Beedrill is kind of nice as a Pokemon, and PMD is probably pretty decent, although I can't imagine its stats are very good, considering it's a very early Pokemon normally. You find it as early as, like, what, Applewoods, I think? So its stats are probably not very good. But outside of level reset dungeons, a Pokemon having poor stats doesn't really... Flamethrower TM, huh? Well, I'm impatient. I don't feel like waiting for another level up. So, fuck it. We're not going to the Sturges floor. We're hunting down that Beautifly and killing it. What was I saying? Anyway, stats being poor don't really matter outside of level resets, considering that every Pokemon can cap their stats at 255 and everything. So it's not a huge deal, actually, if a Pokemon has poor stats if you're willing to invest. Here we go, though. Flamethrower. Finally, some good fucking food. I think we're gonna... It was pretty fun, but I think we're gonna get rid of Mirror Move. I feel like I'm gonna regret this. But Mirror Move is pretty inconsistent, and I would much rather have a ranged move. Not having a ranged move is a real annoyance. Although I appreciate the safety provided by Mirror Move, you know. But I think, you know, it was fun while we fucked around with it, but I think we're gonna stick to a much more... a much just easier and better move to use, I think. I don't really know how to phrase it. It's not a big deal anyway. You can just relearn moves for free if you go back to town, so... Shit, it's not a huge deal. If we end up regretting this, whenever we go back to town, we can just relearn Mirror Move, so it's, you know, not a huge deal. I just made several misinputs in a row there. That was embarrassing. But you know what? We didn't step on any traps, so it's okay. We gotta go to floor 13 and 14, and then the final mission. We don't actually have any idea what floor it's on. Probably gonna be very close. Although this dungeon is like... over 20 floors, I think. So, if we're unlucky, we could end up having to go like an extra 10 floors after our first missions just to get this next one. I didn't check what, like... I didn't check what rank the mission was or anything, so... You can kind of, like, tell where... If you have a mission like that, where there's no given destination floor, you can kind of guess where it's going to be based on the rank of the mission, because the rank of that mission is still going to scale based on what floor in the dungeon it's actually on. So if it's a very high rank mission, it's probably going to be later in the dungeon. It's, you know, it's on a per dungeon basis. It's something you kind of just have to judge. Again, if we're lucky, it will just be fairly early on, and we won't really have to think about it. Just... oh my god, this fuck-ass song. I don't ever want to hear this song again. And it's because of a certain maze at the dojo. Unfortunately, I will be subjecting myself to it eventually for your, you know, viewing pleasure. Let's not even think about that until we get there, though. We did mess around a little bit in the dojo earlier in the playthrough. Way, way earlier in the playthrough. And in fact, that's how we got access to little Grimo here. It's, you know, not directly from the dojo, but, of course, from, you know, a mission where he was a client because we encountered him in the dojo. Good times. Not really good times. The Marowak dojo is a little lame in this game. I suppose at least it's not like it wasn't Rescue Team, where 90% of your playthrough is just spent going there over and over again to level shit up, but... You know, whatever. I do not like really large floors like this where we can't see what enemies are on the other end of the room. This is really bad. I'm praying to God this thing doesn't have Bug Bite or Silver Wind or something. This thing needs to die extremely quickly. Thank you, Chico. Anyway, just keep moving on. We're not that far off from our objectives. Who the hell's that? Beautiful light. Now get out of here. I'm a little annoyed by the subpar accuracy on Flamethrower. It's good enough, but made worse by the fact that we're playing as a male. Fucking sexist-ass devs. Yeah, what an original joke. Anyway. That's another... Nah, I'll bring that up some other time. Don't worry about it. No. Oh my god. Thank god. Another Reviver Seed. Just keep moving on till we make it to the Outlaw floors. Son of a bitch. Well, there goes our food. Yeah, we don't really need it. We have plenty of extra food in the back anyway. Back in storage. Anyway, actually, for real this time, let's just keep moving on. Hey, Chico got another level and a new move. Aromatherapy. Well, that's just even better than Safeguard, I think. Well, let's not be so hasty here. Honestly, she doesn't need Body Slam. She's pretty much always spamming her ranged moves, I think. So, Aromatherapy is one of the best support moves in the entire game. It's fucking amazing. Where Safeguard, you know, for several turns blocked anyone from getting status, Aromatherapy actually just cures the statuses of whoever has them. Which is going to be absolutely beyond invaluable. This is a move that I've been waiting for like the entire playthrough for her to finally get. And it is such a goddamn good move, and something that makes her stand out from the other starters, so the fact that you only even get it in the post-game is just like an actually, like, it's a real shame. A lot of the starter and, like, partner Pokemon in this game kind of just have the exact same playstyle as each other because of that. That's not good. That Venomoth is definitely going to use Silver Wind. Let's, stop him from doing that. I guess Fossil should be enough. Just beat the crap out of this thing before it can wake back up. Let's hopefully not just miss all of our goddamn attacks and actually be able to hit this thing. I really, really want to get rid of that Venomoth before it becomes a problem. Okay, Outlaw down. Why am I missing? Okay. Scary stuff. Any Silver Wind user is a fucking menace. You do not want to put up with them at all. Anyway, first Outlaw was a little scary, the circumstances that we fought it in, but we were able to take it down. Let's hope the next one will be as smooth and agreeable and will not just fucking destroy us. Or let's hope we don't, like, spawn into a monster house or just something miserable like that. I should really stop saying those kind of things, because it's just gonna will it into existence. Man, this... I don't even know what this floor layout was called. This weird, like, a center room flanked by 4 adjacent rooms. I feel like this is fairly common in these post-game dungeons. Anyway, Wizcash, let's give him a Blinker Seed. Well, that's not really gonna help very much. When a Pokemon is blinded, if they obviously can't see it. If they walk into a wall or a Pokemon, they won't be able to see it until they just start attacking. So let's just step out of the way here and let him take my place, and then we'll all just surround him and beat the crap out of him. Okay, well, I guess he turned to face Chico because she attacked into him. Makes sense. God, I wish I got to keep this. That reminds me, there's this game, I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to talk about it again anyway, I don't care. There's this old computer game I used to play called Fate, which is basically like a Diablo clone, and it was made by a bunch of the devs of the original Diablo. Oh, a track, that's annoying. And yeah, that game had randomly generated quests, most of which were just, hey, go to this dungeon floor and kill this, like, boss enemy, and get this randomly generated item for me. And something the game even encourages you to... Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, that's not good. Something the game even encourages you to do, funny enough, is it encourages you to, like, take one of these quests, get the, like, requested item, and then if you like the stats and, like, abilities and whatever on the item, are you fucking kidding me? Well, this is what aromatherapy is for, right? I can't even finish my story because this Venomoth is just annoying the piss and shit out of me. No, she's not even technically in the same room, so aromatherapy's not gonna work. Thank you, Grimo. What was I saying? Yeah, the game basically encourages you to, if you get a quest that has a really good item as a reward, it encourages you to get the item and then just cancel the quest and just steal the item, which, God, I wish it worked like that in this game, so you could do stuff like get the protein. Anyway, it would appear that, no, this final mission is not, in fact, on one of the floors adjacent to the other two missions, which means I think, unfortunately, we are in this for the long haul. This is gonna be rough. And see, that's why aromatherapy is so good, because we don't have to worry about getting status anymore. And this, what counts as a status in PMD is very liberal. For, like, example, flinching counts as a status. What is a key door? I'll explain aromatherapy more later, but for now, we got a key door. We don't actually have any keys. A lot of these post-game dungeons have a few of these scattered throughout them, and, well, if you get a key, you can either get them on the ground in certain dungeons, or you can buy them for a whopping $8,000 from Keck at the town. You can use the key on the door and get something out of it. Usually never anything all that good. Usually exclusive items for specific Pokemon, which is like, you know, I'm not using those Pokemon, so who cares? You know? Yeah, key doors is interesting. I hope we'll get a chance to open some sooner or later and have something cool in it. Also, hey, we're actually on the destination floor, so we're not in it for the... The fucking client is right there, it's a Poliwag. I genuinely, you know, I'm not used to the fact that we already evolved Polibo. I thought he was still a Poliwag for a second. I got distracted. Anyway, back on the topic of aromatherapy, now that we're all done here. Aromatherapy, yeah, really good. A lot of moves count as statuses. Like, a lot of things count as statuses, I should say. Like, flinching counts as a status. If you step on a seal trap and one of your moves gets sealed off, that actually counts as a status and can get fixed with aromatherapy, which is, like, insane. So you just become immune to steel traps unless your Pokemon with aromatherapy steps on it and gets, you know, aromatherapy sealed, which is pretty unlikely considering, you know, Chico's an AI. Hey, look at that. We got the Diamond rank. Like I said, see, these rank ups come really damn quickly once you're in the post-game and the missions start getting harder. Hey, look, we actually got a protein after all, funny. Yeah, what else counts as a status? There's a whole bunch of stuff. Shit like getting immobilized by, like, Shadow Tag or, like, I don't know, whatever other crap can immobilize you. That did not take nearly as long as I figured it would, and it went pretty smoothly as well. Nobody went down. It's very nice. I don't think there's much else to do other than just continue taking some missions and ranking up. And you can see 2,200 points. When we're getting several hundred points for clearing missions, like, that's nothing, honestly. That's a very quick and achievable goal. So we will be getting a lot of ranks pretty quickly here. For now, let's just sort our items and then go see if we got any good missions to do. Ooh. Brick Break Team. We can't use that now, but... Oh, wait, we can use that now. I don't know how the hell Remo can break bricks, but whatever. I didn't mean to give that to him. Okay, here's what we're actually going to do. There's several Pokemon I'm going to want to teach this Brick Break to, so we're going to store this for now, and sooner or later, I hope we'll be able to show off Recycle, although Recycle is a pretty rare move in this game. From what I can remember, like, the Pokemon I can think of off the top of my head that gets Recycle is Munchlax, which is not very rare. It's somewhat common and mystifying. It's a little uncommon in Mystifying Forest, but it shouldn't be too difficult to recruit. The thing with it, though, is the fact that, like, what the hell was I gonna say, man? I'm tired, man. My mind is slipping. I'm so sorry. The thing with Munchlax is you have to level it up quite a bit for it to actually get Recycle, which would be an annoying amount of time spent grinding. The hell do you want, Corphish? The Surrounded Sea, huh? Well, looks like we've been, you know, fed some information by a former guild member. Looks like Corphish finally Did something noteworthy for once. What about you, Badoo? What do you gotta say? Yeah, of course you envy us, Badoo. You probably can't do shit on your own. No, I'm sorry, that was mean. What do you gotta say, Chat? What do you mean sinister sounding? How the hell is that sinister? I honestly forgot just how much context-sensitive dialogue there is from the different, like, townsfolk and guild members in the post-game. There's so much extra dialogue they give based on the specific bit of the story you're at. It's very nice. I just realized, where the hell is Diglett? You want to earn some money? Hell motherfucking no, I don't. I think I mentioned this a long time ago, but yeah, now that we're in the post-game, we can just redo Sentry Duty whenever we want, which I guess is a cute novelty. Hey, Surrounded Sea. Surrounded Sea is a sea. No fucking way. Wow, a water dungeon. Should go for a look yourselves. Well, that's probably what we're gonna do some other time. That's actually our next story dungeon, I believe. Less story dungeon and more our next dungeon we gotta do to progress the game, but if you couldn't guess by the name, Stormy Sea is in fact a the fucking water dungeon, and I'm currently playing as, you know, why can I not think today? Holy Christ, I'm playing as Torchic, who would get destroyed very quickly in a water dungeon, so I don't really want to put up with that. Let's head to, I guess, our next set of jobs today. Let's go to Mystifying Forest again. Let's go save real quick and then I'll catch you in the dungeon. Alright, Mystifying Forest. Still scary. We're not strong enough for this place to not be dangerous at this point, unfortunately. But, you know, we're gonna tough it out and go through her anyway, because, you know, like, no pain, no gain type shit, or something like that. And if we're lucky, we'll be able to actually get a Munchlax, like I mentioned, and then perhaps at some point, we will give him some levels and get him strong. Hey, look at that. It says we already have Chikorita recruited. How funny is that? See, I've seen for, like, speedruns for, like, recruiting all Pokemon, it says something like, the game doesn't actually technically count your player and partner as, like, having recruited that species. That makes sense, and that doesn't make sense to me, considering even the game itself here is, like, acknowledging that, you know, we have Chikorita on the team, even though she's the partner, you know, so I don't really get it. Again, not really worrying about recruiting everything this time around, because it's just, it just takes so ungodly long. It takes, like, fucking, like, 100 hours of playtime to do that, and we're currently at 16 hours of playtime, so, you know, I already have another save file that I'm working on 100%ing. I have very little interest right now in doing that a second time. No thanks. Also, can you stop throwing rocks at me, little asshole? Doesn't even have the decency to join the team after just chucking rocks at us. What a dick. I'm very glad that we can at least actually see in this dungeon, by the way, unlike the past couple we were in, because holy Christ, not being able to see where you're going in the dungeon and having to deal with dark hallways is super annoying. Whatever, that's enough rambling for me. Let's just keep on moving through here. Destination floor number 1, and, well, there's been no incidents up to this point. Let's hope it stays that way. I do not like the way that Bayleaf is looking at us, but we can chuck a couple rocks at it and it'll probably go down. Okay, or we can just miss. Oh, fuck it, I'm just throwing another flamethrower. This is taking too long. How hard was that? Thank you for all the boosts, though, Grimo. My strongest soldier. They're giving us so many rocks as well. We finally almost have a full stack of rocks. It feels so fucking good to have actually good throwing ammunition. Oh, hey, Groudle. Please don't murder me. Okay, we're good. I honestly forgot what the objective is here. Rescue Lunatone. Where the fuck did we see Lunatone? I guess in Temporal Tower we saw Lunatone. Hey, look, another one. God. Thankfully, there's no water on this floor, otherwise finding this Lunatone would be a gigantic pain in the ass, because it would probably just be floating around somewhere randomly in a corner of the map that I can't reach. Oh yeah, I really have no idea where the hell this thing is. I guess probably over here, right? Oh, it's just a fucking Nuzleaf in my way. Oh wait, that's not good, it's... Okay, there it is. Fucker made me run around the entire floor looking for him. Anyway, let's head on to the next one and hopefully not eat any apples. You know what, fuck, I'm just gonna eat an apple, I don't care. Not like we don't have a million of them. As you can see here, getting slowed down actually also counts as a status ailment for the purposes of aromatherapy. Yet another reason why it's such a good move, because getting slowed is really, really bad, and not having to worry about it, if your AI partner is smart enough to use it at good moments, anyway, is extremely nice. Let's hope that, you know, oh hey, stairs. Let's hope that Chico can actually, you know, keep on top of healing us with aromatherapy when it's needed. Anyway, rescue Stantler. I'd rather not, he's pretty ugly. No, I'm sorry, that's rude. Oh my god, yeah. I think we've already found this before, but Stunky and Skuntank can't actually explode with Aftermath because of damp. I'm still so fucking grateful for that, because Aftermath is incredibly annoying. It's like one of the scarier abilities that a Pokemon can have. I've already went into this, though. I don't need to reiterate it. Prism Band. That's definitely not useful, though. Oh, fuck. Don't Fury Swipes me, that hurts. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Bidoof wants to join. Sure, never gonna use her, though. Just like the real Bidoof. A useless jobber. No, that's super rude. It's completely true, don't get me wrong. Everything I just said was true, but it's also pretty rude, so I feel a little bad. Not really. Where the hell is this Stantler? What do you mean it took no damage? Come on now, Grimo. See, that's more like it. God, Venonat gives so little EXP. Oh, and everybody just got separated. That's not fucking good. Aw, this just got really bad. I don't know why everybody just split off, but... At least, you know, at least Polybo doesn't need to be nearby for Damp to work. Why do I keep missing this fucking Rattata, by the way? Rattata wants to ensure. I fuck with Raticate pretty heavily, but Rattata, honestly, eh. New move on Polybo. Belly Drum. Oh, no. I've already discussed the just awfulness of Belly Drum, I think. I'm not gonna go into that again. At least I met back up with Chico. And hey, look, there's Stantler. I have no idea how the hell I got here, but there we go. Oh, look at that. Solrock and Lunatone together. Pretty cute. There's actually a handful of, like, of course, the Pokemon that appear in missions are randomly generated, but there's actually a handful of predetermined pairs of Pokemon that will appear in missions like this. Like, you know, Nidoking and Nidoqueen, or, like, Plusle and Minun, like, what else? Like, I can't think of any other examples, but you get the gist. Like Zangoose and Seviper, you know, like pair Pokemon. Pretty cool. Or stuff like Tyranitar and Larvitar, and the Tyranitar is like his mom, so that kind of stuff. Anyway, good shit today. Successful missions. Got some money, got some rank points. Look at that. Only 1,600 left for the next rank. Really good. And with that, we can end this episode. I will see you next time on Explorers of Darkness.